Welcome to module number 11. In this particular module, we shall continue our journey in terms of understanding learning outcome number 4 with a special focus on organizing. This is where we understand the PRINCE2 practices and how they are applied throughout the project. So what is it that we're going to cover as a part of this particular module? In this module, we would explore the purpose of organizing practice, the key relationships between organizing practice and the principles, and we would explore the key management products relevant to this particular practice, key concepts related to the organizing practice, and we would explore the business case life cycle, aligning products to business objectives, tolerances, and establishing this particular practice. And finally, we would explore the relevant techniques pertaining to this particular practice. Now, what is the key message? The purpose of the organizing practice is to define and establish the project structure of accountability and responsibilities. Using layman's terms, we explore the who of the project and the broader environment. Now, projects are complex ecosystems comprising an ever-changing web of relationships. And for a project to succeed, it is essential to establish an effective project management team structure that supports navigating this complexity. For this reason, one of the principles of PRINCE2 is that projects must define roles and responsibilities and relationships for the project within an organizational structure that engages with and represents the three key interests, namely the business, the user, and the supply communities. Now, to be flexible and meet the needs of different contexts, PRINCE2 defines a set of roles that need to be undertaken, together with the responsibilities of each of those roles. PRINCE2 does not define tasks to be allocated to people on a one-to-one basis. Roles can be shared or combined within certain constraints according to the project's needs, but responsibilities must always be allocated. Now, we shall explore the key relationships between the organizing practice and the principles. Now, beginning with the first principle, ensuring continued business justification. Now, this is achieved by assigning someone from the business to the project executive role who represents the business viewpoint and has sufficient authority and availability to fulfill the role and be accountable for the project. Now, what would this result in? It would result in the project being able to adapt to changing business needs, and appropriate decisions are made that align with the business case. Now, moving on to the next principle, learn from experience. Now, using lessons to inform the project management team structure, work breakdown structure, and a healthy ecosystem is very critical. So we could look back into similar projects in the past and what kind of team structure that particular project had, what kind of roles, what was the work breakdown structure, etc. Could be things that could be picked from past. What would this particular element result in? It would result in the right people being in the right roles at the right time to deliver the project. And the third key relationship is with defined roles and responsibilities and relationships. Now, developing an explicit project management team structure that ensures everyone involved is fully aware of their responsibilities and relationships is key and vital to this particular practice. Now, this particular element would result in no duplication or gap in responsibilities. There are positive relationships across the project ecosystem and between the project and those impacted by the project. We'll explore some further aspects of relationships in the next slide. Now, in the context of management by stages, this particular practice would be achieved by assessing and, where necessary, adapting the project management team structure role descriptions, commercial management approach, comms management approach, and change management approach as stage boundaries. Now, as we move from one stage to another, there is a change in the kind of people that we need to work with, the suppliers that we would need to engage with, the kind of communications approaches might vary, and therefore there's a need for us to make sure that we correlate this particular practice to this principle. And by doing that, we would have the following as a result. The project can evolve with changing needs, and appropriate sets of skills and abilities are deployed at each stage of the project. Now, moving on to another key relationship between the organization practice and the principle of management by exception. Now, this is achieved by empowering those best placed to make decisions to do so at the appropriate point. It kind of results in a facilitation of effective and timely decision making, increased accountability and ownership of actions and decisions. Moving on to another principle, the relationship between organizing practice and focus on products. Now, this is achieved by ensuring those who will use the project product are being represented on the project management team, and there is an understanding of the change management required for their successful deployment. And this would result in products being more readily accepted by users and brought into operational use, delivering expected benefits. And finally, the key relationship between organizing practice and tailor to suit the project environment. Now, this particular relationship is achieved by creating a project management team that is appropriate to the needs of the project and the capability of the organizations and people involved. And what would this result in? It would result in an effective team structure that is appropriately sized and has the necessary responsibilities, skills, and capabilities required to deliver the project. Moving on to the next topic, some of the key management products relevant to the organizing practice are the following. We have the project management team structure as a part of the PID document. The purpose of the project management team structure is to define who is involved in the project, their relationships, and how they will work together. It may also include a description of relevant key personnel outside the project team. The next relevant product is a document called role descriptions, which is a part of the PID document. The purpose of the role descriptions is to describe the roles of those in the project management team and their specific responsibilities. And then we have another management product, which is the commercial management approach. The purpose of the commercial management approach is to describe the procedures, techniques, and standards to be applied and the responsibilities for effective commercial management. This covers the approach to secure, service, and maintain all commercial agreements required for the project to be a success. This may include activities such as market engagements. You might want to request for information, requesting for proposals, procurement, which would include doing those technical evaluations and signing contracts with the vendors. So all of those elements would be the scope of the commercial management approach.